Welcome back to Vuln Vibes, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're looking at, it's urgent. We got to talk about patching Next.js.
Yeah, this is a big one, especially for our listeners, dealing with IT security day in and day out. When a framework as widely used as Next.js has a vulnerability, we need to pay attention.
Right, no kidding. This isn't some theoretical thing either. This is a real authorization bypass vulnerability right in the Next.js middleware.
CVE 2025-29927, CVSS score of 9.1. That's high. It means this is serious stuff.
Okay, so break it down for us. Where's the weakness here? Why should we care?
Middleware. Think of it as like the first line of defense in a lot of Next.js apps. It checks if you're authorized, before you can access anything important.
Yeah, okay, so this vulnerability, it basically lets attackers skip that whole check.
Exactly, like having a VIP pass that bypasses the bouncer at the club. You get in even if you shouldn't.
So it doesn't matter how good your authentication is for the rest of the application if they can just walk right in the front door?
Yeah. Right, that's what makes this so dangerous. It undermines the whole security model for a lot of applications.
All right, so bad news first. What's the impact here? What are we talking about?
Well, depends on the app, of course, but potentially. Data breaches. Unauthorized access to sensitive information. Attackers could potentially take actions they shouldn't be allowed to.
And we know our listeners are dealing with critical systems. This could mean disruption of essential services.
Exactly. So the first question for everyone listening is, are you using Next.js? And if so, are you relying on middleware for authorization? If the answer to both is yes, you got to take action now.
Right. All right, so let's get into that. How do we fix this?
Patches. The Next.js team has released updates. 15.2.3 for the 15.x series, 14.2.25 for the 14.x series. Get those deployed ASAP.
That's the priority. But we get it. Sometimes patching right away isn't possible.
Yeah.
What about older versions?
There is a temporary workaround for versions 11.1.4 through 13.5.6. You can block external requests with a specific header, the X middleware reciprorequest header. It's not ideal, might cause some issues with certain functionalities, but it will buy you some time.
Right, a Band-Aid. But the key is you got to upgrade to a patched version as soon as you can. No way around it.
And this whole thing really highlights something we talk about a lot, vigilance. Even in mature ecosystems, widely used frameworks, you can't assume everything's perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, middleware is such a fundamental part of so many apps, you might not even think about it as a potential attack vector.
Right, and that's why it's so important to have a defense-in-depth approach. Don't rely on one single layer for security. Have horrible checks, backups, fail-safes.
Okay, so summing it all up, if you're on Next.js 14.x or 15.x, upgrade now to the patched versions we mentioned. If you're on an older version, implement that temporary workaround, but plan your upgrade path right away. No putting it off.
And this goes beyond just Next.js. Think about your whole infrastructure. This CVE is a wake-up call. Are your other applications vulnerable to similar bypasses? Where are your single points of failure?
Great point. So homework for everyone listening.
Yeah.
How could this kind of middleware bypass be used in, say, a MyDebris ATT&CK framework? How would your existing monitoring pick it up? Think about it. Be proactive. That's how we stay ahead of the bad guys.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a deep dive for today. Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay safe out there.